They say beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It's a beautiful thing to see this place here in order. Got my things now, I sit back and try to relax. Watch the shadows dancing from the fire contact. The flame flickers while I hear these constant whispers, turning slowly to screams. My mood
be very debatable. Feminism, if I'm pronouncing that word right, has it entered hip hop? And why is it in hip hop? Why is it in the culture? Is it deeper than? Is they trying to do something far as alter or kill the culture if I put feminism in it, right? So I guess I start off first. We was listening to something Umar Johnson, right? Now, to be honest, I have not did my research on it. For what he was telling me made sense. It didn't make sense, right? I didn't do my research. I didn't study it. I didn't go back and fact check what he was saying. What Dr. Umar Johnson was saying, how feminism was starting from white supremacists, and then I forgot the lady name.
Margaret Sanger.
I think so, yeah, modern day feminist, right? And how it breaks down the black family, right? And let's look at it in the culture of hip hop, which is hip hop as a tool and a teaching tool as well, right? Mm-hmm. So remember, we can attest to this. In the 80s, women like MC Light, it really didn't get like, you know what I'm saying? They didn't really get the spotlight, right? They had to act manly or whatever the case may be.
Very much so.
As time went on, they had Lil' Kim and Liberation, her showing her body, use what you got to get what you want type thing. Yeah. Less clothes, less revealing. To them, that's empowerment. To me,
that's the opposite.
It's the opposite of empowerment, right? It's degrading.
Degradation.
Yeah, exactly. So this nasty word, I believe it's nasty, you know what I'm saying, feminism, you know what I'm saying, because now it enters the house where you have your Nicki Minaj's, you have your Megan Thee Stallions, and they say, we don't need a man, right? And the first thing, they want a man to protect them, right? When danger comes, you don't need a man, but you want a man to do his job. Right, and so this movement at hip hop, as far as these women, because these women they have young women growing up idolizing them, so they're growing up believing that this is how a woman is supposed to be. A man is irrelevant. It's harming the fabric of our community.
True.
You get what I'm saying? And I think to each his own, but I don't agree with it. What you think?
Feminism. I mean, on the break, when you think about feminism itself, like the idea that they're equal, that's right. You know what I mean? They should be treated right. That's a good thing. But I think that what's going on, I think as is gone with civil rights and a lot of things, really, they're playing word games. So what they're saying, feminism, like say before they would say that if you demand that she has to be undressed and blah, 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 you're degrading her. But then they flipped it within the last 10 years or so to say, well, that's actually empowering her. So in a way, it's like the opposite. It used to be that the power was their ability to withhold that from us. You know what I mean? Hey, oh, come on, give me a chance. Just give me, no. They used to be like the power that they could turn you away. They could turn him away, but I like him though. You see what I mean? So in a way, say, I can remember, say, go back to me 13, 14 years old, right? You're competing for the girls that you want. You think this guy is the one that gets them, right? So you kind of start to try to pattern yourself a little bit differently. His dress code seems to work better than mine does. So let me re-change that. Well, he talks a certain way. Let me kind of pattern my speech a little bit better so I can get the attention that he gets. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Similar type of a deal. So what's going on now is the popular woman now, quote unquote, as being put in front is almost like the image of the old school prostitute in a way. You know what I mean? So now there's little...
So they're exploited.
Yeah.
And real quick, I had to cut you off, but I think we were talking about this yesterday. And this is what's going on in the music. Now, the Lauryn Hills are not being heard, right? Mm-hmm. The Rhapsodies, right? For North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina Rhapsody and J. Cole and that whole movement. She's not being heard. The woman who has consciousness and the message behind her music is not being heard because why? She's not entertaining, right? You know, because no one wants to think no more. People barely want to pick up a book. It used to be to the point where people get on their phones and Google. They don't even want to do that now, right? So my thing is, what we talked about yesterday, you said that these women, they paint a picture where they're going for a certain type of alpha male, right? The street guy, the guy with a lot of bravado, the thug, right? They're not looking towards the educator, the person who has a degree, the handyman, you know, the father that is trying to raise children, right? They're looking for the guy who's living dangerously, right? So he's the alpha male. And this is what this way with feminism is projected. And this is why the dating scene is real the way it is now, and marriage is at an all-time low because the love and man's role and the woman's role is completely out the picture. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, unless you want to finish, Gov, or you want to elaborate.
I want to jump on one of the things about, like, I think, like, when it comes down to, like, women dressing provocatively and music, sometimes I think, like, the way I see it, and this is just my opinion, right, is that it's a way for women to control the narrative. You get what I'm saying? At one point in time, we could, what you wore, how you dress, dictated how people, the respect people were going to give you. You know what I mean? And modern day feminist women realize that, hey, I can wear what I want and still be woman. I can be who I want and still be, you know, who I am and be, you know, so on and so forth. So I think sometimes it's like a way to take control, and to control their sexuality, to control their self-image and so on and so forth. And it's challenging. Like, people say that only, you know, only if you dress a certain way, you don't deserve respect if you dress a certain way. Right. If you dress undressed, then you're not, you know, this way. Janelle Monáe, are you guys familiar with Janelle Monáe? Yeah, the singer. She used to start when she used to first start out.
That's the quote on us lines, and I know exactly what you're talking.
Electric Lady is like,
yeah, it was quote a line though. I mean,
oh man, you don't want to have any singing on.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm gonna show you a picture. You know her. She Electric Lady is like a big song of hers.
Is she from Atlanta?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
That's the chick that don't take bash for 60 days. That's her. Right. No, she went over. I get talking about she was prepared or she getting her creative space. She don't take bash.
Okay. Ooh, all right.
Do what you do.
TMI. TMI. But no, she
breathe in deeply.
She started off her career where she was one of those people where she started off wearing all suits. She was never going. She made a point not to be naked in public. And now she just. She has a Age of Pleasure. I think she came up with an album called The Age of Pleasure, and she's undressed. She's you know, has her tits out and everything else.
Was that her all the time?
That was never her.
You get what I'm saying?
That was never her.
Was that her?
But she realized. I think she had an evolution where it's like, my clothes alone don't dictate how I dress. Like, I should be still conferred respect. No matter if I dress like a slut, right, or whether I dress like, you know, a church fasted. Right.
You know what I mean? I disagree though.
That argument that you bring up is kind of similar to the one about the N word. Are we going to use it the A version versus the ER? You know what I mean? That like the because I didn't think about what you were saying, like the whole feminism. Why they using the provocative dress weight? It's not like as if they're switching up the A versus the E.
Like, you can call me. I'm still that. I'm still a woman. I'm still so on and so forth. And my clothing ain't gonna take that away from me. Right. Now, if you want to dress like the church pastor or deacon or someone else, so go ahead. You know what I mean? Right.
See, the only problem with that is, though, the unintended consequence that come with it, though. You know what I mean? Like, what about the little girls that don't understand the distinction that's getting made? You know what I mean?
That's why their parents come in play.
And they come up with their own concept,
Yeah.
their own definition.
Right. And see, a lot
It
of
can be very detrimental
Right.
towards the family fabric of man and woman.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
And I'm listening.
But my thing is, who's responsible for that? Is some entertainer, some random actor responsible for how your kid behaves at home, or is it the
To a degree.
Is it
To some degree, right?
But or is it your parents, your church, your so on and so forth.
Let me tell you why to a degree.
Whoever's responsible.
Let me tell you, everyone is. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I could be you could live in a strict parent household,
Right.
religious household, Islamically, Christian, whatever, right? We don't know. We don't watch our kids the whole 8 hours a day. We don't know what they got on their phones and computers, these devices, right? We don't know how they influence the school. So it's everybody's responsibility, right? Now, granted, the core foundation of the parent should be installed in the child, right? But go back to what we said earlier, vices. Some things just look more sexual and appealing to the eye. So when that happens, the entertainer, the person who's in the limelight, gotta say, look, and I'm gonna leave a legacy of destruction and what you call it, destruction, or I'm gonna leave a legacy of teaching and learning and the betterment of my society. You get what I'm saying? So I can make a movie, right? And to piggyback in again, we're old enough to decipher Steven Seagal don't jump out of planes into a fiery car and kick down people's asses. We know that. We know it's entertainment, right?
Yeah.
We know this. But what about the kid who their brain haven't developed enough or decipher enough to know what's real from fake? So he's going to go out here and think that he can do a Steven Seagal act and kill himself. So it's a responsibility on everybody's part to say, look, what's real and what's not, what's acceptable, what's not, and what had detrimental consequences, right? So that's all.
See, my thing is they're making. I think the thing is, the kids shouldn't be watching it. If they watching it, that's an issue, an issue altogether. So something else needs to be addressed there, that they have access to it, right? But if you giving if kids have been given the proper tools to decipher real from imaginary, bad from good, and so on and so forth, they should be able to make those decisions and understand it. And then the other thing is, I think when it comes to music, art, and it's an art form. It's how people express yourself. And so someone might see someone dressing naked as a bad thing, or provocative as a bad thing, but it's a statement. It's saying, I'm not my clothes, I'm not my beauty, I'm not my hair, or so on and so forth.
Do they say that in strip clubs?
Well, that's a whole. I respect that too. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? If you could get some simp to pay to see your tits.
But again, you know what I'm saying? The stripper would say, respect me as a queen. Respect me as you would respect a nun or Muslim woman covered up. No, I'm not. I'll look at you something totally different. With the U.S., all right, so that's recapping on what we're saying, finishing off. What do you think about, I guess we say liberation, right? How she should be judged and looked at in society by the way she dress and carry herself, right? How do you feel about it? If you're saying a woman that's fully covered, right? That's modest, right? And she's walking down the street, right? Yeah. She walking that. You're in a park. Okay. You see her sitting on the bench or whatever the case may be. And are you going to approach that young lady with more respect than a woman that's basically out here with no drawers on, Look at you, the young man running. No drawers on, mini skirt, breasts hanging out, high heels switching. Are you gonna look at how would you approach that dating scene? Like the woman that's modest, would you talk to her in a different way? That's about looks. We're not going by what, because looks can be fool. Looks can be deceiving, but we're just going by looks. The one that's modest, you're gonna have a little bit more respect and picture like, maybe I can build with her with a family. The one that's provocative, you want to be like, look, I'm be gone with you, right? Right. What you?
I feel like a frame of mind. You did the kind of drew me off. Well, to be honest, in that scenario, when it comes to the girl is dressing in that way, like dressing all
Everything out there.
yeah, everything out there, I would say if I was to approach a female like that, I mean, the first thing that will come to mind is sex and intercourse and what can I get out of her? You know what I mean? However, that doesn't mean if I talk to her, I probably wouldn't be surprised by her mom.
Please, break into the conversation. I'm just talking about appearance. I ain't talking about diving deep first.
Yeah, first on my mind is probably sex or intercourse. But I mean, if I see a woman that's dressed up all nicely, I'll probably approach her with a little bit more finesse. You know what I mean? I probably think what I'm about to say.
Because you're looking at her mind more than her body.
And more than, yeah. So
Any last words, you guys? I know T about to rebuttal or something. Which is a good thing. The show needs rebuttal.
Like, I'm gonna look at it like this. This is a disclaimer. I'm not saying this is one that I feel for, but I'm giving an alternate reality.
Okay.
She a role breaker. You get what I'm saying? The one that is just provocatively, the versus the one that's just like a nun.
Right.
I'm gonna say that's a rule breaker to me, and I'm interested in seeing where her mind goes and so on and so forth. Also, what she can do in the bedroom. But but she is a rule breaker and both.
It's crazy though. With that type of I guess men get judged. We get judged the same way by what we look, how we dress or anything. And I guess that always only a part of human nature. We always judge somebody by the outward cover and everything like that. And some people will fool us. You know what I mean? We get people in suits a lot of times. Politicians got us many times thinking they good people. And you find out, right?
Yeah.
You found they worse than the people that you thought was the worst.
Cookouts and handing out Popeye's chicken to the hood.
Right.
Thinking everything all good, and when they get put in the office, they don't fix a pothole or nothing.
Yeah. But I never thought about it from the aspect of trying to flip the script. You know what I mean? Like from that aspect of the feminist movement. But which is very interesting to me because I do like that type of a concept of being able to break the mold in order to kind of shatter a misperception. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if it would be that, I still would like for them to speak of more empowering. Like if you're the female rapper, right, to the young girls, I would like to talk more about how to build their mind more so than what your body can get you.
Exactly.
Using dudes,
And not be judgmental too, because we all know that some of these conscious women can be very judgmental and very closed-minded and narrow-minded to everyone else's artistic way of expression. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that A Boogie ever did this, but that's a picture of Muhammad D or somebody looking down on Nicki Minaj. She's not hip-hop, she's not, so that's the end of that segment. We go to the third segment.
They say beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It's a beautiful thing to see this place here in order. Got my things now, I sit back and try to relax. Watch the shadows dancing from the fire contact. The flame flickers while I hear these constant whispers, turning slowly to screams. My mood